Well, thank you guys for joining us tonight for our last webinar of the spring season. We definitely appreciate you being here with us tonight. I know with the longer days and warmer weather, it can be easy to kind of stay outside for these webinars, but we appreciate you hopping on live with us tonight. And we're excited to talk to you about farmers markets and how that can really play a part in your online store. And so hopefully you'll be able to learn a few things tonight. Okay, yeah, that poll just popped up. So,
Okay, I was trying to
um,
figure out, normally you're the one that does it, and I honestly wasn't sure if I was doing
yeah.
it right. So, okay.
Yeah, so thank you for joining us. We hope you'll be able to gain a few things from this presentation tonight. So Katie, if you want to go to the next slide. If you've been here before, you've probably heard us give this little intro, but we'd still always like to talk a little bit about Chop Local and what we're about. So primarily Chop Local is an online marketplace that sells meat directly to consumers. So we have vendors all across the country selling meat. We're always looking to add more and expand across the US. And so if this is something you're interested in, we're always willing to talk to farms and butcher shops about what it's like to sell on Chop Local. In addition to the marketplace platform, we also have Chop Local University, which is kind of where these webinars and educational events fall under. And so Chop Local University offers lots of free and low cost educational resources to you to help you with your meat marketing. So we have different courses. One of our most popular ones is about shipping meat. We also talk a lot about email marketing, social media, how you can price your meat. And again, like I said, the webinars are another really popular offering that we have. And so I do like to kind of give the disclaimer at the beginning that these webinars are recorded. You can always find them on our YouTube channel. And if you are subscribed to our email list, we'll also send out the recording afterwards as well. So with that, I'll pass things over to Katie and let her get started.
All right. So, my name is Katie Olthoff. I am one of the founders of Chop Local and Chop Local University. Just my background a little bit. I used to be a teacher, so I love to do these types of things. And I did not grow up on a farm, but when I married into a farm family, I became kind of a mommy blogger. That was about over 15 years ago now, I guess. I launched a blog about our farm. Also became a small business owner when I took a few years off of teaching when my boys were little. Worked for the Iowa Cattlemen's Association and then helped help launch Chop Local in 2020. So that gives you a little bit of background so you just know where I'm coming from. I've kind of been there, done that in the agriculture world. Yeah, and as a small business owner and as a former teacher, I love to do these types of trainings. So to get started with, we're going to pull some data from the annual survey that we do at Chop Local University. For the past 3 years, we've done 3 years of this survey now. We're getting ready to launch year number 4, but we have sent this survey out across the country, received hundreds of responses, and asked really a variety of questions about meat marketing and specifically online meat sales. The majority of our survey respondents are livestock farmers. And when I share data over these next few slides, it is just data from those livestock farmers, the butcher shops, and we call them lockers here in Iowa. I've come to realize that's a Midwestern term, but butcher shops and small meat processors are not included in this data, okay? So here's what we found out. Some of this is USDA data actually. 147,000 farmers selling meat specifically direct to consumer in the United States, but only 9% of them have an online store. And I thought that that sounded really, really low, but I recently was doing some work in one specific state and they had a directory of farms selling direct to consumer. When I sorted that directory and looked at the farms selling meat specifically, and then went through that directory to see which ones had an online store, it really was right here at 9%. So that was a pretty good sampling. Um, when we look at our survey, at the very end of the survey, we ask, what are your annual meat sales? The farms that are selling over $200,000, 71% of them have an online store. Okay, so if that is a goal that you are trying to hit and you are a farmer's market vendor, you're spending every Saturday out there or maybe multiple times a week, 71% of these farms that are selling over 200,000 have an online store. So we know that the online store is a competitive advantage if you do it correctly. A couple more numbers here. We asked all of those farmers, what are your average sales? If they had an online store, that's what e-commerce means. With e-commerce, the average, and these numbers come from farms who have been selling direct to consumer for 15 to 20 years or farms that have just started selling direct to consumer. Average sales were 140,000. If they did not have e-commerce, meaning that they were only selling locally at farmers markets, maybe through Facebook messages or phone calls or text messages, their average sales were 81,000. So that's almost double with e-commerce. And so that's what we really want to focus on today is we have seen a lot of success with farmers market vendors who have a loyal, happy customer base. They have that proven product. People come back to buy it week after week. We've seen a lot of success with them setting up an online store that they can use really in two different ways. One is for pre-orders for farmers market pickups, and the second one is year-round sales. We're going to focus a little bit more on year-round sales today, but I want you to see this quote from one of our Chop Local farmers, Candace. We launched a podcast in February and I interviewed Candace, and this is one of the things she said on that podcast. She said, I'll go to a farmer's market and at a minimum, usually with 500, but usually it's 1,000, 1,500, and sometimes $2,000 in product already sold when I show up. So she is doing pre-orders for farmers market pickups using her online store. She's also doing year-round sales and shipping. Um, Candace is in a really remote area, actually right on the Arizona, New Mexico, and nearly the Mexico border. She has to drive, I think, about 2 hours to get to the farmer's market. So being able to have these pre-sales here is huge for her. And then she has a really premium product. She's raising Wagyu. And so selling that year round, you think about Christmas gifts, holiday gifts, farmers market season is a little bit different in Arizona because when it gets really hot, the farmers markets actually slow down. But she can sell that year round, and it's been really fantastic for her business. So when we think about turning farmers market customers into these year-round customers, there's kind of three phases that I look at. There are the things that you need to be doing right now before market season, and I know market season is coming up really quickly for some of you. There are some things that you need to do during market season this year. And then, of course, there's what you're going to do after market season. I think most people, when they think about this, they're thinking after market season, I'm going to push people to order on my online store. But there are some key things that you need to be doing during market season and some things that you can do right now to get yourself really primed and prepped that are going to make both of these things easier, okay? So we'll start out with before market season. If you have time, these are the things that we want to see you doing right now. I don't remember if we said this at the beginning, but if you have questions, go ahead and drop them in the Q&A. And Sydney will let me know if she wants to stop and we can answer them, or usually we wait until the end, okay? All right. So before market season, most of you said that you already have an online store. I want you to take a little bit of time and make sure that that online store is as easy for people to use as possible. Okay. A few things, I wouldn't necessarily say that they're mistakes, but a few things that we catch when we look at online stores is Is it easy to use? Does it load quickly? And is it easy to find products? Those seem pretty basic, but that loads quickly one can be really, really frustrating. There are some platforms that don't load very quickly. A lot of that could have to do with the platform itself, but it could also be related to the size of your photos. So go ahead and make sure that it's loading quickly, because if people have to wait, it's not like back when I first got dial-up internet, and you could play a whole game of solitaire while you waited for a page to load on the internet. People won't do that anymore. They will just give up, okay? The second thing is that we want you to sell by piece or by what we call weight variation, not by exact weight. When you sell meat face to face, or if you are buying meat at the butcher shop or at the butcher counter, the meat counter at the grocery store, or you're even like looking in the grocery cases, you can see the size printed on there and you can see exactly what that price is. And you can look at it and you can decide, this ribeye is too big for me, too big for my family, or too expensive for me. I'm going to size down, and this is what's going to be in my range, right? Or I think about walking up to the meat counter and I'll say, I need a roast, and he'll pick up a roast for me and he'll weigh it and it'll be 3 to 4 pounds. And I'm like, nope, I need a bigger one. So he'll put that one back and get me a bigger one. You can have that back and forth to figure out the exact weight that the buyer wants, and the buyer is fully aware of the price. When you sell by exact weight online, I know that a lot of people feel like they should be doing that same thing, but without having that back and forth discussion, the customer doesn't know what the total price is going to be at the end. So if you have one of those systems where it takes a deposit, you go and type in the exact size, and then it charges them for that exact amount, that can be really confusing for customers and it can cause them to shy away a little bit. What we recommend, especially for meat, and I know there may be some people on here that sell other things other than meat, but we really suggest you do it by a package, or by piece is how some people say it, and use weight variations. So, for example, if you have roasts, you say 3 to 4 pound roasts are going to be $18, and that's low, I know. 4 to 5 pound roasts are going to be $24. But you get the idea. You just assign a dollar amount to a size variation. If you have higher value cuts like filet, we do like 2 ounce weight variations on filet, but we do larger weight variations, meaning a broader spread between price differences on those bigger cuts or the lower value cuts. Okay, I hope that that made sense. The third piece here is answer questions. So think about the questions that people ask you at the farmer's market. Are they asking you things like, is this bone in or not? How many are in a package? What was it fed? How was it finished? The types of things that people ask you at the farmer's market, you need to have that information on your online store or on your website. Okay, so this is one thing that you can do right now. If we continue to we've been rainy in the Midwest. If we continue to have rainy days and you can't get outside, sit down to your computer and look at your online store and these three things, okay? If you want to dive deeper into this, we do have a couple of specific resources from ChopLocal University, that cover these things that can really help you get deeper into what your online store needs to look like. Another thing before market season, create your signs and graphics, okay? You want physical signs that you can post at your booth and add to your price list, however you have that displayed. We're going to talk about email signups, but these physical signs and social graphics, we want them to include information about signing up for your email list. We want them to include information about your online store and the fact that people can order online for pickup. You see, I have a template here for a little, can you see my blue, okay, thank you, Sydney. I have a little template here. It's really small, I know, but it says order online and pick up at the farmer's market. And I actually have a QR code there so people can take a picture of that with their smartphone so that they can order online really, really easily. We also, this template, it would be something you could put in a picture frame on your table or tape up, and this is a link to sign up for your email list, and a paper form to sign up for your email list. We'll talk about those too. In addition to the kind of physical signage, you want to have some social media graphics ready too. Social media is a great way to encourage people to either sign up for your email list and or pre-order for farmers market pickup. And then on your social profiles, if you have an online store that you think is working well, go ahead and link directly to your online store in your social media profiles. Most commonly, we're looking at Facebook and Instagram. Sometimes, people will put a link in there. Go ahead and put it straight to your online store. Whoops, now I've somehow zoomed in again. Little difficulties last time too. Sydney, what am I doing
Okay,
wrong?
after you zoom out, click on the like
Hold on.
micro on the
Af-
thing.
After I zoom out, click on
Okay,
the what?
now go.
Okay, thanks. What would we do without her? Okay, during the season, we really want you to gather email addresses. This is so, so, so important. Because at the end of the season, email is going to be one of the best ways that you can stay in touch with your customers and get them to make those purchases online. Okay. We have a lot of resources about email marketing because we are super, super passionate about it. We have seen it absolutely be so beneficial for some of the farms and butcher shops that we work with. And again, especially if you have that loyal customer base in person, they want to hear from you. They don't want to have to buy meat somewhere else the rest of the year. They want to be able to purchase from you. And so you are doing them a service by sending them an email and showing them how to order from you. And not only that, but um, email is just, it feels like you get a lot more instant gratification than social media. And I know that that sounds backwards. Social media, you post, you get likes, you get shares, you get comments, but sometimes it can get hard. It can be hard to get people to actually order through your social media. We've set up email marketing for a couple of the farms and butcher shops that we work with through ChopLocal. And we'll send an email out about a special weekly bundle or, featuring a special product. And within a couple hours, we just see the orders come in, several of them. And so that's why we are so passionate about email marketing. It's really, really worth your time. Okay. Like I said, especially if you have that loyal customer base already, you just have to get that loyalty onto your email list. Here's how you do that. In order to get them to give you their email address, we like to use what we call a lead magnet. A lead magnet, a lead is your potential customer, or in this case, they're a potential online customer or potential year-round customer. The magnet attracts the lead. Okay, so that's why we call it a lead magnet. A lot of times, especially for those existing customers, a coupon is a great lead magnet. Okay. It can also be something like a digital freebie, like a recipe, or a recipe booklet. You can make those in Canva. You can also do a physical gift, like a meat thermometer. Or like I said, a coupon or discount it's a coupon or discount is not necessarily a great way to get brand new customers that have never heard from you onto your email list. But in this case, these people know you, they like you. they'll really appreciate a coupon. Okay. And we recommend having multiple ways to sign up. Paper forms, some people still prefer a paper form. If you have the manpower at the farmer's market, take a look at that email address while they're, if they fill it out and you're still standing there, get clarification from them if you can't read their handwriting. Okay. That's also why we put the name here too, because sometimes, a lot of times people's email addresses are based on their names. And so even if you can't necessarily read the email address or you're afraid there's typos in it, not typos, you're afraid that you may not read it correctly, you can read the name and figure out what it might be. Okay.
Katie, we did have a question come in.
Yeah.
Why do you guys not recommend coupons? And I will start by saying we don't like we would not never recommend a coupon, but maybe expand on for first time customers. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Good question. So we do, to clarify, we do recommend coupons in this situation. And actually, right here is where it says it, right? Actually, on ChopLocal, we offer a coupon for email signups too. However, I don't have any slides in here about the customer journey or about the marketing funnel. But when we think about, I just want you to think about the first time that you are considering purchasing from a business that you've never heard of before. Okay. You kind of start up here with awareness. Okay, I've heard of this company now. Let's say you're going to replace the carpet in your house. I've heard of this company. I know that they sell carpet, right? Um, if they gave you a coupon right then, would it convince you to buy right then? Probably not. You're still going to think about, okay, but before I buy from them, I want to check out their reviews. I want to check out their website. I want to see their social media and see if they have any photos of the carpet that they've installed before. I want to see if I can get more information. So that's where we say you start at the top of the marketing funnel here, and it really is like a funnel. Um, and then you start moving down the funnel. You're looking at that social media. You're really their goal at this point is to build trust, to get you to make the decision to finally purchase your carpet from them. Lots of people are going to find out about the carpet company. Some people are going to consider buying carpet from them, but some people are going to go with a competitor because they have different options or different, whatever it might be. And then finally, at the very bottom, the people that come out the funnel are the ones that are ready to buy. Um, when you are at the very top of that marketing funnel and you're just starting to think about it and making the decision, the coupon probably doesn't make a huge difference to you. But if you're in the middle of the funnel and you know more about them and maybe you're comparing them to a competitor and everything else is equal and they give you a coupon, then you're like, yes, that might convince me to buy from them. So I hope that explanation made sense. But the first time someone hears about you or comes to your website, a coupon won't be as effective as it would be for someone who either is almost ready to buy from you or has bought from you in the past. Okay, did that answer that, Natalie? I hope. Let me know. Okay, good deal. And then, like I said, paper forms and QR codes. We set up a QR code through Canva. We use Canva Pro, but I don't even know if you have to have Canva Pro to do this. Canva Pro is about $120 a year, and there's a ton of different ways that you can use it in your marketing. So if you don't have Canva Pro, I would probably recommend it anyway. But you can also set up QR codes in there and then print your signs, makes it fairly simple. Your QR code is going to link directly to an email sign up form. We like MailChimp, and you can get a link directly to a sign up form in MailChimp. Okay. Don't just send them to your website. They may get lost. The pop up may not come up for them. They may not be able to find the form. Try to send them directly to an email sign up form. And then you can set up an automation that gives them the coupon directly. We're not going to get super deep into that today, but we have some other resources, again, webinars, an email marketing course that goes deeper into how to make all of that technology work for you. But no matter what, I do not want you to go to the farmer's market without at least a paper sign up form every single week. Um, it is nice if there's already a couple emails listed on it, reuse the same one from week to week. Makes people feel like, they don't want to be the first one. It's kind of like signing a guest book somewhere, like you don't want to be the first one. There's comfort in knowing that, oh, well, other people signed up for it, so I should too. The other thing I'll say is don't just put it like at the checkout, okay? Put it at different places around your booth if you have room, so that people don't feel like they're rushed at the checkout and it's one more thing that they have to do. Put it where they're going to start their shopping, maybe, or something like that, so that they can work on that while you're helping other customers. Okay. The other thing you can start doing during the market season is train them to order online by really encouraging pre-orders. You can use the email list that you're creating. You can also use your social media. You can use the signage, like I showed a couple slides back, that says order online and pick up at the farmer's market. It may take some time to get them to do this first time. And that's why that coupon, an incentive or a discount to get them on your email list. And that coupon I would make it so it can only be used on their online store. This really gives them a reason to try the online store and to try pre-ordering. Sometimes people are hesitant. It's just like buying from a new company. They're hesitant the first time. Once they get it started and it's easy for them, they will use it over and over and over again. The other thing is really in your messaging or what you're talking about, you can really push them by having some scarcity. Okay. So, one way to do that is to offer some items that are pre-order only. We have one farm that processes chickens on their farm, and so they actually bring fresh, never frozen chickens to the market a couple times a year. And those are pre-order only. And so people have to get on the online store and you have to be a stickler about it. Don't, if they send you a Facebook message, say, yep, I really need you to place your deposit on the online store, or I really need you to go purchase that on the online store, and make that a pre-order only item. We have people that do that for holidays as well, where that you have to order your prime rib online, you have to pre-order your turkey or something. You can also do that with things that sell out quickly. And then if are really encouraging these pre-orders, one of the benefits that you can tout to them is that you can pre-order online and then we can be your last stop. You just pick it up at the end because you know that we're going to have your order ready to go and you're not going to miss out on your favorite items if they go out of stock. That way they don't have to carry their frozen meat around the farmer's market. They can just stop at the end right before they leave. So train them to pre-order, give them an incentive, and try to really push to them that this is worth it for them, that there are benefits to them for them to pre-order. All right? Because if you get them to start using the online store during the season, if they have questions, they can ask you, they'll get comfortable with it, and then it's really natural when we get into aftermarket season for them to continue to order. Okay. So, big tip for aftermarket season is keep in touch with your customers. All right. Um, this is where the email marketing comes in. It's so important. I say here monthly is probably not often enough. Send your emails more regularly. We see we see really great online sales between Labor Day and Christmas. It's actually I should have brought this chart into the presentation, but that's actually when we see the highest online sales on ChopLocal. And that's really across 70 different farms and butcher shops. We're seeing the highest online sales during those periods. So during that time, I would send it at least 2 times a month, every other week. Weekly emails is great. We have farms and shops that we work with that send 3 emails a week. And again, they have loyal customers who appreciate that because they want the reminders to get their meat, how to get it, what's on sale, what the specials are. Okay.
I
So
do want to
send,
jump in here and say, like,
yeah,
when we tell people, weekly or bi-weekly is probably recommended, and that can maybe initially be really intimidating. Don't feel like your emails each week have to be this like long newsletter covering like everything that's going on at your farm and every product that you have. Like, make it so simple. If you do a weekly bundle, just share that. Or somebody that I do email marketing for, we just share the hours that she's open for the week and then maybe share about one product that she's selling. And so don't let it intimidate you to do more than, you know, an email a week or every 2 weeks. It really does not need to be this like long thought out process. It can become very quick and routine. And it doesn't have to be like this big intimidating process.
yeah, absolutely good point. Because we think that we've seen farmers who feel like they need to write like an entire blog post or almost like a diary of what's going on the farm and that type of thing. Um, One of the most successful farms with email marketing that we've seen, the email was they went to a Thursday farmers market, I think. Wednesday, there was an email that said, don't forget to, or maybe it wasn't on Wednesday, but either way, they had a weekly email that said, don't forget to order before Thursday so that we'll have your order ready to go. And it was so short and sweet like that. Maybe it was, we're going to have a new product this week, we got this back in stock, or we just got chicks on the farm, but not a long drawn out email. It was super short. It can be as short as a social media caption. You just need to stay in touch with them. So that's a really good point, Sydney. And then, of course, you can still use social media as well. Don't disappear after farmers market season. One of the things that I think is really key here, if you are doing these things, you're posting on social and you're sending regular emails, and you don't feel like you're getting orders, I would go back to, is there something with your online store that's not easy to use that's causing people to hesitate? B, though, right here is, do you have a really clear call to action? Your call to action is like the instructions. It's exactly what you want your audience to do. So, in your email or in your social media, if you're trying to get people to pre-order, you're going to say, order online by Thursday. Or if you're trying to get people to order Christmas gift boxes, order your Christmas gifts by, give them a deadline. Okay. Deadlines work really well and clear to in your call to action. If you're trying to get people to sign up for your email newsletter, you can put a call to action, especially on social media, try to get those people to your email newsletter, sign up here for a coupon. Okay. So these are examples of a clear call to action. We recommend that you have a call to action on every social media post. And we recommend in your emails that you try to limit it to one call to action. Sometimes the other thing that we want to do is, or that people want to do or seem to want to do, is in their emails, they'll say, order online here for pickup and fill out this survey here and do this too and do this too. And we want your email to just focus on one really important thing. And if your goal is to get them to order online, then that's the one call to action that you want in your email. I feel like we could go a lot deeper into email, and I'm happy to answer any questions that come up. But we do have, again, some other resources about email marketing as well. Okay. Um, Here is an idea that we've seen from a few different farms that we really like. One of the farms that we worked with, they call it meetups. And they basically schedule pickup locations once or twice a month in the off season. So they make it easy for their customers to get their order, but they don't have to deliver to each of those customers' homes. And having these scheduled meetups really has like a built-in deadline and sense of urgency. So the example that I made up here, but it's loosely based off of a farm we know, is that from 9 o'clock to 9:30, they're going to be in this little town in the library parking lot. You have to pre-order in advance. They're not bringing a whole trunk load full of meat, for you to rifle through like at the farmer's market. You pre-order in advance, you show up between 9 and 9:30 and you pick up your meat. Then they're going to go to the next town over and they're going to be at the gas station parking lot and those people can come pick up for 20 minutes. And then their third stop is going to be at their normal farmer's market location, but it's closed for the year. They'll just sit in the parking lot. Okay. This is also really effective because this farm will have a special for each meetup. Doesn't have to be a huge discount or anything, but maybe it's $1 off a certain cut or a special bundle. They send out their emails, they post it on their social media. Sometimes I think they create events on social media too. But this is if you don't want to ship and you don't want to do home delivery and you don't have a place where people can come and pick up really conveniently, every Saturday, every other Saturday, or if your farmer's market was on Thursdays or something, every Thursday, every other Thursday can be a really good way to connect with those customers in the off season. And then focusing on holidays. Like I said, Labor Day through Christmas is is the best time of year for our meat sales online. A lot of that is driven by holiday gift boxes. Um, I always say, meat gift boxes. Meat makes a great gift for nearly anybody who is an adult. Okay. And when I say adult, I mean anybody from like a college student to your grandparents. Um, they it's hard with some of the older generations that we buy gifts for. They don't need any more physical things, and they're on a fixed income. We can help them with their groceries and get them something that is kind of an affordable indulgence for them. That can be really special. Same thing for your college students, meat gift boxes for somebody who is on a limited budget. Like, how exciting is that to have meat that they can eat in their apartment with their friends and not have to go and buy that? And then, of course, you've got everybody in between. And honestly, I feel like unless they are vegetarian, meat makes a great gift, right? So think about that. Think about your gift boxes, what those are going to look like. I feel like a broken record, but we've got webinars on our YouTube channel about this, more resources, blog posts about holiday gift boxes as well. And then again, as we ramp up to the holidays, increase the communication, okay? Send more emails and post often on social media about your holiday gift options. Um, Posting once or twice about holiday gifts, posting once or twice on social media is not going to cut it. Okay. You need to post multiple times over the course of a couple of weeks. And as you get closer to a deadline, post more often or send more emails. This is where sending 3 emails in 1 week to tell people that the deadline is coming for their standing rib roast, or the deadline is coming for you to be able to ship out holiday gift box bundles. This is the time to send those more frequent emails and really maximize those sales. Okay. January and February are generally slower for us in meat sales. There's usually a little bit of a dip online after Christmas spending. And that's true for meat sales across the entire industry in the grocery, retail, everything. So really focus on the holiday options and really get that promoted and move a lot of meat during that time period. Okay, so quick summary. Here's what we talked about basically. You need an easy to use online store. You need multiple ways to keep in touch with your customers, and email is most likely the one that you are missing or need to enhance. You need clear, consistent communication with that direct call to action. Okay, so don't quit posting on social. Don't be afraid to send more short emails. We'd rather see more short emails than fewer but longer emails. And then give them an incentive, whether you're working on getting them to order during the season for pickup or after farmers market season. Give them an incentive to order online the first time. You don't need to keep up that incentive all the time, but give them that incentive the first time. And then I put more specific little tips and tricks here. Okay. We've gone through all of this. Encourage email signups, encourage those signups online and offline. So on your social media, on your website, with a QR code, but also with that paper form. Send the regular emails, include the clear calls to action in your emails and social. Update your social profile with a link to your online store. Make it so people can't miss that you have an online store. You can also do a pinned post on both Instagram and Facebook that encourages people to either sign up for your email list or go to your online store and shop. Incentivize the online ordering and really think about that as training your customers. Make sure that that online store is easy to use. If you have people ordering once, but they won't do it again after that coupon is gone, but they'll still come and buy from you at the farmer's market, ask them. Ask them if they had any trouble with your online store. Create those holiday gift bundles or to kind of counteract that January, February slump. Winter themed bundles, sales, discounts can be really great. A lot of times we will see people sell a lot of their higher end cuts in their holiday gift bundles, and then they're left with a lot of grind or something like that. So think about a strategy there. Consider having those meetups or somewhere where people can come and pick up. And then we're not going to go too deep into this today, but consider adding shipping, okay? Um, Adding shipping is another way that we see people's sales increase dramatically compared to the farms that are just selling locally at the farmers market or within their local community via Facebook, phone calls, text messages, things like that. So think about adding shipping there. Now, where do you go from here? Um, I like to close up these webinars with really encouraging you to take steps to do what we just talked about, okay? Because I am somebody that I love to hop on a webinar. I love to listen to podcasts that give business tips, but I'm not always great about taking action to really make a difference, right? So that's what I want you to think about right now. Think back to Candace with her pre-ordering of up to $2,000 every week that she's going to the farmer's market. Plus, she is shipping out weekly around, around the calendar year round as well. So think about how you're going to get to those steps. And there may be pieces and parts of what I've talked about tonight that you need more help with or you need to go deeper into. One of the ways that you can do that is you could become a ChopLocal vendor. As Sydney said at the beginning, we're always looking for new vendors across the country. And we always get asked, what exactly is ChopLocal? How does it work in the Q&A portion of these webinars that we do? And so this time I thought I'm just going to put it in here so that we can talk about it, okay? Um, like Sydney said, ChopLocal is an online farmers market specifically for meat. It is for farmers, ranchers, and butcher shops. We'd love to work with especially those farmers who have, like we've talked about, that local customer base at the farmers market, because we know that when they set up an online store, we can give them guidance to really help them grow their business throughout the year. Okay. Um, each ChopLocal vendor, we call our sellers vendors, they each have a landing page that is called a micro store. That's like your farmers market booth online. This is one of the micro stores here. You can see it has a photo. You can share some information about your farm or business. And then you can send your customers directly here to choplocal.com/your farm's name. We also have a really easy to use vendor panel. That's something that gets rated very highly when we send out our surveys. We offer white glove store setup. What that really means is that Sydney is going to do it all for you. Okay. So you get her help. Our platform, ChopLocal, we've really worked on search engine optimization and conversion rate optimization to make it effective. And then we also do marketing similar to a farmer's market or a chamber of commerce that does events to bring new customers in. We do marketing as well to bring new customers. Then they get to choose which farm or butcher shop they want to order from. All of these extra courses that we've been talking about, as well as marketing services like Sydney referenced that she does email marketing for a couple farms. You get those courses are free or discounted, and you get a discount on the marketing services as well when you sell on ChopLocal. Caveat here, you must be willing and able to ship your meat to sell on ChopLocal. So some states have a state inspection program that would allow you to sell by the cut at the farmer's market. But it has to be USDA or CIS inspected in order to ship across state lines. And that is a requirement for you to sell on ChopLocal. So if this is a good fit for you, and it's not a good fit for everybody, if it's a good fit for you, go to choplocaluniversity.com/choplocal-marketplace, or go to choplocaluniversity.com and click on Sell Local Meat. You can fill out a little form there, and we can get together and talk more about what exactly it would look like and if it's a good fit for you. Okay. If it's not a good fit for you, here's kind of your other options. You can do it yourself, take what you've learned here and put it into action. And I hope that you've learned at least one tip that you can go put into action to help you either sell more during the season or get ready for postseason. You can go a little bit deeper on the DIY side with some of our Chop Local University courses and resources. And we actually have a special offer we bundled together for the courses. We will send that out via email. I'm not going to try to make a hard sale right now, but if that is an option for, or if that is something that you are considering, we do have a special offer there. We also have all of our free resources from our previous webinars and our podcast and that type of thing. And then last but not least, we can do it for you. Okay. You can hire us and we can take a look at your online store and make suggestions that would make it easier to use. We can take a look at your online store and we can actually make the changes that you need made. We can help you with email marketing. We can help you get it set up and then teach you how to take it and run with it, or we can continue to do it for you. But no matter what option fits you and your business the best, the big thing here is that we want you to put these things into action because we know, going back to that data, we know that this can make a big difference for your business. So that's all I have prepared for tonight. So questions. Do we have any questions? You can go ahead and enter them in the Q&A section there. I know a couple things that we get asked about frequently is your online store platform. There are a variety of them that work really well, and depending on your needs, there's really not a one size fits all. When we say your platform, that's like Shopify or Squarespace or Barn to Door. But there are some things we really like. We really like the sell by package, not sell by exact weight option. And so keep that in mind when you are looking at your online store and if it is easy to use. Like I said earlier, there are some platforms that are really, really slow to load. Okay. Another question we get asked often is email platforms. MailChimp is our favorite by far. We've used MailChimp for a really long time in a variety of businesses, and we use it with, gosh, there's probably 15 different farms and butcher shops that are using it that we work with, and it has been really effective and it is relatively easy to use. If you've tried using MailChimp and it's been really difficult for you, that might mean that you need a little bit more help, and our team can help you out with that a little bit more. Okay. I don't see any other questions in the chat. We'll stay on one more minute to see if anybody has any more. Okay, so somebody just said, I've been taught email is the way. I have a friend doing well with beef who said no one checks email, use text. Okay. Um, so text messaging is becoming more popular. We have experimented with text messaging. We've had a harder time getting people to give us to sign up for texting than we have for signing up for email. And maybe that's because they're, they know that they're just not going to answer their email. I don't know. Um, Email open rates for farms average around 40%. Okay. So that sounds low, but actually, email open rates across the board are about 22%. That means 22% of the people who receive the email are going to open it. For farms, the average is closer to about 40%, but we have seen email open rates be as high as 78% on farms. And it kind of depends on what you are doing in your emails, what you are sending, what the subject line looks like, health of your list. So, are they existing customers from the farmers market, or possibly did you, do a giveaway? A lot of people will do a giveaway to build their email list, and they get people who just wanted free things. Jeff says that his buddy uses a Square reader that collects cell phone numbers so that they can text them at the checkout at the farmer's market. Yes. Hopefully, he is having them opt in to text messaging because legally you have to have them opt in. So that is a really good strategy if you are at the farmer's market. You can also have them opt into your email list using your Square reader as well. That reminds me, I wanted to tell you guys, going back here to Chop Local, we are working on some really exciting updates for Chop Local. So some of you I know are familiar with us and have been around for a while. We are doing some redesigns of the micro store and the search capabilities, the search functionalities, make it easier for your customers to shop from you. We also are working on a point of sale integration. It would be a Square integration. We're just ironing out the kinks with that and are hoping to launch that here really soon. So we've got some other things in the pipeline that we've been talking about, but those are a couple things that are happening right now that are really exciting. So I guess, Jeff, I would say I'm not opposed to text messaging whatsoever. Um, I still think email marketing is really powerful, though. Okay. Well, thank you all for sticking with us tonight. If you have any other questions, or if you want to get together sometime, let me just see if I can throw some text in here. You can schedule a call with me. Why am I having trouble now that I'm typing in front of people? Calendly.com/Katie Altoff Chop Local. This is my link to set up a consultation with me. We can talk through your business specifically, and if you have any issues, or you want help with a specific part of this whole process that we've talked about, happy to do that with you. So, thanks everybody for getting on. Have a good night.